TNA starts off pretty solidly with a promo from Moose in the ring. Damn, this guy, like, he seriously looks like a star. I want to see him being pushed. I'm happy he has the X Division Championship, but I want to see him with a proper reign with the TNA World Heavyweight Championship because I don't feel like we've ever gotten like a legitimate world title reign with Moose. But for now, the X Division title is fine. He talks about his match with Kushida coming up, and then Cody Deaner comes out. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I was fine with what happened here. Cody Deaner comes out, he gets a match, and Moose just destroys him, makes Moose look strong. Cody Deaner is an absolute jobber, man, but it's fine. It was a solid opening segment, made Moose look strong. I wish we saw more of Moose and Kushida interacting before their match, but overall was solid. I don't mind this. Then we have Santana and Josh Alexander and Northern Armory interacting backstage. I would like to see this feud, man. Honestly, this seems like a really solid rivalry that could happen. Santana versus Josh Alexander, yes, please inject that into my veins. I don't know if we're going that direction because both of these guys have some unfinished business, but Santana versus Josh Alexander, that's definitely a long-term feud I'd like to see. And we then go on Xia Brookside versus Rosemary. Rosemary defeats Xia Brookside. Wasn't exactly a squash match, but Rosemary needed to win since we were building towards her versus Jordynne Grace. Talking about that, after the match, Rosemary keeps attacking Xia Brookside, and Jordynne Grace comes out to the save. Now, we've seen Jordynne and Rosemary like having this on-off feud for like months now, and you kind of lose your interest over time when you don't get the payoff. And I don't feel like we've built this properly, but I've come to the realization and I've accepted that all of these Jordynne Grace matches, we're just gonna get them in quick order because like we're gonna be done with her. She's leaving to WWE. It's obvious now. So we're just gonna get all the big matches that we want to see on the pay-per-views without much build. Just get it done with and let her leave. Let it all be over. So I understand it, not happy with it, but it is what it is. Backstage, Ace Austin and Trent Seven have an interaction. It's a solid undercard feud, but I don't think it should be on the pay-per-view at all. It should be a television match, right? It would serve a better purpose on TV. Ace Austin versus Trent Seven will be a good match. Again, not pay-per-view worthy. I'm excited for the match, so you just know it's going to be a good match. Then the Rascals defeat, let's call them the good guys. The good guys, yeah. They're a fun new team. I don't mind them. They don't have a name. I hope they stick in the division. But yeah, I don't know. I hope this isn't a random pairing. They're a good fun team. But the Rascals win. It was obvious. I hope we go to the Rascals versus the Hardys after the pay-per-view match between the Hardys and the System. Because man, we need some fresh blood. And the Rascals have been, I don't know what we've been doing, man. With the Rascals, like Zachary Wentz had such a good push with that NXT reign. Zachary Wentz had such a good push with that NXT reign, and we all know TNA is very high on Trey Miguel. So I don't understand why them as a tag team haven't been utilized more. But okay, it seems like we're going into that direction, so I can't complain. Get them another victory under their belts. Solid. Then PCO and Sami Callihan defeat, well, they don't defeat Alex Hammerstone and Jake Something. The match ends in disqualification. So it was okay. I wish we got a conclusive finish to that match, but PCO and Jake Something, PCO and Sami Callihan win the match, and afterwards the number 23 pops up again. Now, is this Baron Corbin? Like I've seen online, they said the number 2 correlated to the alphabet is B, and the number 3 is C. Obviously, duh. So BC, Baron Corbin. It will make sense. I don't know how he fits into this storyline. It feels like a very weird storyline to introduce him into TNA. But okay, if it's Baron Corbin, I'm happy. It's a very high profile wrestler that I think would like benefit TNA a lot. But overall, PCO, Hammerstone, Sami Callihan, Jake Something doesn't seem like the appropriate place to put him into TNA, right? Then Danny Lunev defeats Heather by Elegance, which makes me think the By Elegances are going to win the Women's Tag Team Championships at Final Resolution. And yes, please. I don't think they'd benefit the Women's Tag Team division necessarily, but they would definitely be the right people to hold it because they're very over. I don't know if you guys, but I really enjoy them, especially since Heather joined and we've gotten more character work from them. It's been so much better, and I think the Women's Knockouts Tag Team Championships around them would just benefit everyone involved more instead of Spitfire, who rarely appear and they're not that interesting, let's be honest. So I can see them like doing a makeover with the belts, just bragging about it, never defending it, because never defending it would be like in their character. I just think with this, the lack of a deep division, putting them on Heather and Ash by Elegance would just benefit it a whole lot more. I'm using the word benefit a lot, but it is what it is. Great match. Danny Luna getting the victory was great. I hope we split Spitfire up because they could be better singles competitors than the tag team. Plus, the women's division is going to need it. So, on to the main event. We have Joe Henry, Nic Nemeth, and Masha Slamovich versus AJ Francis, Casey Navarro, and Tasha Steelz. I'm going to give you a guess on who won. You'll never believe it. Like, you wouldn't guess who won it. It's Nic Nemeth, Joe Henry, and Masha Slamovich. You probably guessed that. Yeah, it was a solid match, but the winners were so obvious, man. I enjoyed the match. It was a solid match. After the match, AJ Francis attacks Nic Nemeth. He almost hurts Masha Slamovich, which was fun to see. Not that I'm encouraging violence on women, but like it's not something you see. You know what I mean, right? You know what I mean. But yeah, AJ Francis holds up the world championship. He's now winning the belt. I wouldn't mind it. I think it would be cool to see. But Nic Nemeth is retaining. The only person he's dropping it to in the foreseeable future is Joe Henry. Fortunately, AJ Francis is not Joe Henry. I will complain though. This was a very mediocre build towards AJ Francis and Nic Nemeth, and I feel like we could have done more with this. Right? We only had 2 weeks, so what they did was it was okay with the time they had, but I think like this could have been a main event worthy feud, and it feels like the feud for a mid-card belt. And then Joe Henry, I don't know what we're doing with him anymore. Masha Slamovich versus Tasha Steelz, it's been an okay build, right? Better than the World Championship build. Overall, solid main event. I'm kind of interested in the stories going on. I wonder how JBL is going to get involved. If he even is, he better, right? But then, yeah, it's all so many different elements. But overall, I'm going to say, if I had to give it a Nitro rating though, be a solid 7 out of 10. I think I just sat down and enjoyed TNA a lot tonight. I don't know why. I don't know what was different. It just felt more coherent. It felt like it was booked properly. I don't know how to explain it. It was just a much more enjoyable show than most other nights. I can't put my finger on it, but I hope this is progression to the future. So yeah, if you enjoyed tonight's video, leave a like and subscribe. I would very much appreciate it. I do TNA every single week along with NXT and the pay-per-views. So if you're interested in that, subscribe and leave a like. I hope to see you again soon. I'm sending love to all around the world. I'm Coach and goodbye.